always positive, guys, and you know I'm reasonable, but there are viewers ask my opinion about global problems and saying, okay, look what humanity does. What is your opinion? And what is your opinion about this influencer? I'm not someone who's into political discussion because it's always a yes or no. Yeah, so it doesn't make sense anyway. It's just you're just starting just an argument, blah blah blah, and it never ends. But I'll tell you, the reason why I became a social worker, I'm a survivor of domestic violence, but people don't understand why are people talk about global problems because humanity can't hide the secrets anymore. So what they see, problems comes on the surface. And how? Because social media hyped up the problems and it becomes a trend. And you see it on the television, hear it on the radio. And suddenly people are talking about it because it becomes a popular topic. So you have to understand, people talk about it when things become popular. Influencers talks about it because that's why they how to stay relevant. Fair enough, right? You never hear me bitching about life. Well, that's the reason. Yes, it doesn't say I have a perfect life. But I want to say it must be fair. Because there are people who are suffering behind closed doors and people never talk about it. So I don't think it's fair. So when people talk about global problems, go back to the roots. What happened behind closed doors? Yes? The man who beat up his wife and his kids. How about incest? People never talk about it. When you talk about it, it gets ignored. Yeah? Isn't that why we have social welfare? Isn't that why we have Amnesty International? Right? They do good work. So my kudos to them. Yes. And I would never talk about influencers because if you would put a name on my tongue, yeah, I'm just a bitch. Sure, you're asking me to be a bitch. So you never talk about someone, especially not with a name from someone and defame that person. So that is not my thing.